So look, today was a day to work some, again, some situational type football. We didn't do the goal line group out here. We walked through that, earlier. We got a chance to work some backed up or coming out situations. We got a chance to work 3rd and goal down there in the red area. We got a chance to work 2-minute at the end of the game. So a lot of situational work. I think it was really good work that we got in today. I think our guys, competed hard. And so now we'll start, getting ready to kind of turn our attention to, Arizona, and start preparing for those guys. We got a travel day tomorrow to head there, and look, it's not going to be anything, complicated from a game plan standpoint. We're not spending a ton of time in a game plan process. I want to get our guys out there and let them play football. So that's the plan.
That was the end of game, 2 minutes.
Was
with those scores.
End of game 2-minute with
7-3.
Well, we weren't. The scores were just the scores. Okay, the scores were just the scores. All right. I don't mind them having 3. I'd like for us to have more than 7. All right.
Was Boehner's situation different because he missed the other day? He had a minute 40 left on his drive.
Well, look, what part of the deal was I wanted to get the 1s and the 2s a little bit of a shorter 2-minute, try to get their legs back under them a little bit, and yet the 3rd group is the group that's going to be out there at the end of the game in this first preseason game. So I wanted to give them more of an opportunity to work a 2-minute drive. It just so happened that today was a day that Jake was running with the 3s today, so that's why that went that way.
The 1s, the last play you guys whistled at that, was there something there you didn't want him to throw it? Or?
Yeah, I didn't want to work the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Coach Allen, will we see Derek Carr on Saturday night?
Yeah, we'll talk about it tonight as a staff and make a decision on what we want to do with all of our guys in terms of whether they're going to play or not play. Again, I haven't had any communication with the players at all in terms of what we're going to do. So until I have an opportunity to do that, I won't discuss any of that publicly.
Dennis, so you did play all the starters in the first game. Is there any reason to reconsider that strategy last? I mean, was there anything?
You just go work a different angle?
Well, because we won't talk to you again, I'm just curious what you're weighing this versus this.
Yeah, look, I don't know that it's necessarily anything that I'm weighing. I think it's we haven't really discussed that as a staff, and I certainly haven't discussed it any with the players. So, I've got some thoughts in my mind, but I think prior to doing anything or making any type of statement, I think we go in, we talk about it with the staff, personnel guys, and we'll have a good plan as to what we want to do.
What do you think where your pass rush is right now for this stage of training camp?
Yeah, look, I've seen some encouraging signs. I've seen some things that I like. We still haven't played a real game yet, so I'm probably not ready to go and make any bold, claims in terms of where we are from a pass rush standpoint. But I think there's been some signs of some guys that can help us.
You guys extended Pete Werner. Just what kind of camp have you seen him have? I know you guys kind of had a little challenge there for him. And how have you seen him respond?
Yeah, look, I think he's responded. I think, up until the injury, I think he was performing at a really high level, and I think Pete's a guy that's going to be, a cornerstone piece for our defense as we move forward. And so, you guys usually find that stuff out before I do anyway, and so I knew that was in the works, but I appreciate you breaking that story for me. But it's good to get a guy that you feel good about, that stands for all the things that you believe in and the way that we want to play football, and to be able to, lock one of those guys up for the future is good.
Was that related to his response at all? Like, do you think if he hadn't shown you what he had in camp, maybe it would?
Yeah, well, look, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, right? I mean, look, Pete's played good football for us, so it's not like he didn't play good football for us last year. Would we have liked for it to maybe have been a little bit better? I think both of us would say, man, there's some areas that we can improve on, right? But yet, we brought in, a guy like Willie Gay to come in and compete. I don't think that's any different than any other position. When we have good players and we have a chance to bring them in, we let them come in and we let them compete. And I think Pete responded well. So I don't know that it's necessarily because of the way that he responded. I think that was something that we would have been interested in doing regardless.
Dennis, how was the visit with Justin Simmons, and where does that kind of stand now?
Yeah, look, I thought it was a good visit. And so I can't tell you exactly where that stands right now. I think this is one of those deals where we have a chance to sit down and visit with him in a number of different fronts, myself, Mickey, coaching staff, even some of the players get a chance to sit down with him, him get a feel for us get a feel for him, and then we evaluate how that went. We evaluate it from our standpoint. I think he's going through an evaluation process on from his standpoint of where he feels like that is. I'm sure there'll be some communication, from our people to his people, and we'll see.
So that visit's over. I guess he left already.
Yeah, I think he left this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you interested to see how this the new kickoff rule plays out in the game setting?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody knows how it's going to play out. It's never been done before. There's obviously been some things that have been done that are similar, but this actual kickoff has never been done before, and so I think you're going to see a lot of different things throughout the course of the preseason. I think the coaches that are able to adjust the best to the new rules and figure it out, the faster you're able to do that, I think those teams are going to, take advantage of it. And so I think this will be our first opportunity on Saturday night to actually see what this, kickoff is going to look like in a live situation. So yeah, in answer to your question, I'm interested to see how it plays out.
What will you be looking for when in the backup quarterback competition, especially when necessarily the result doesn't matter as much?
Well, I think both of those guys going out and proving that they can operate the offense. Get the play call, get in and out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, get the snap off, go through our progressions. All those are the things that you're really looking for. What kind of poise do these guys play with? When the lights are on and the crowd's going, can they, do they go to playing playground football, or do they play with poise and composure and operate the offense the way that it was intended to be operated? That doesn't mean that there won't be some off-script plays. I want to see how, when things don't go exactly right, how do we respond? And so, I think I'm looking for how they operate the offense, and I'm looking for how do they respond when things don't go exactly the way we drew it up. It'll be a good opportunity for both those guys.
Dennis, is 6 receivers enough for a preseason game?
Well, I think it's going to have to be probably, and so we'll figure out what bodies that we have available to us. Now, does that mean we may have to change up some personnel groupings and do some different things? We might have to do that. I'd say that wouldn't be uncommon for some of these preseason games. I know there's been times in the past where we get in a preseason game and we're down linebackers, and now all of a sudden there's a safety playing the will linebacker position. He's never lined up there before in his life, or a safety going out and having to play corner. He's never done that before in his life. So yeah, we may have to adjust some.
And was Tyron scheduled maintenance?
Correct. I think him and Cam both were.
What have you guys seen from Penning so far, and what are you hoping to see from them in these preseason games?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think he's made some improvement. I think there's still a ways to go for him, but I think he's made some improvement, in particular in the run game. I think there's still some areas in the passing game that we got to get shored up a little bit. And look, I think he's getting challenged every day. I think our ends present a pretty good challenge for him. So I'm encouraged by the direction that he's heading. But yet I'm not ready to sign off on it quite yet.
What is Stanley Morgan doing?
Hip.
And Jalen Ford, he was back. He had groin surgery in the offseason. Has that just been maintenance for that, or did something else pop up during camp?
No, he had a different soft tissue deal that he was dealing with. We got him back out here a little bit today. We'll see where he's at tomorrow. I don't know exactly what his availability is going to be yet for the game, but I don't anticipate him being out for much longer.
As we seen some players like Mario be able to progress and working off to the side, we haven't seen that for Marshawn yet. Where is he at in his rehab process?
Going through the process, I mean, everybody's at different spots in the rehab process. All those guys are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. They're working hard at the rehab process. Lat's been out here. He's been engaged. I'm pleased with what I've seen out of him. Certainly, we'd love to get him out here sooner rather than later, and yet each guy's dealing with different injuries. Some maybe a little more significant than others.
How does injuries kind of affect the guys that you mentioned this idea kind of with Kendra Miller, but with a guy like Mason Tipton who needs the preseason experience to show that he can make the roster, but yet they're hurt right now. How does that kind of change your thinking? Or
it makes it hard to make the team. And so. Guys that have injuries, they got to be doing everything that they can to get themselves back out here as fast as possible. Different guys are in different positions. There's guys that we have more experience with and more volume of information on that we feel like it's a lot easier for us to make decisions on. And then guys that we don't have as much information on makes it more challenging to make those decisions. So I think it's important for all of these guys, and in particular the young guys that haven't proven themselves. I think it's important for them to get healthy and get back out here, because the only thing I can do is I can only evaluate what I see out here. And so if you're not out here for me to evaluate, then it's hard for me to make a determination that you're one of the best 53 to be on our team. All right, thanks, guys.